Hi, family. I'm Rebecca. If you're new to our channel, um, yeah, today I'm not really in good spirits, honestly. But I thought I'd come here to talk to you a little bit about the recent weather effects on the farm. So, for those of you who are not Namibians, for the two previous nights, we have reached sub-zero temperatures here in Windhoek. This is where I'm recording from right now. And I'm sure a lot of you can see I'm not at the farm. I'm not sporting the red overall. Neither am I in the kitchen. And it's very unusual for me to record away from those two areas. Those are probably my most favorite areas when it comes to recording and bringing you content. But yeah, so we are not on the farm. And Windhoek have been hit with sub-zero temperatures. We were hopeful because if you have followed me, I have spoken about how we don't really receive frost and sub-zero temperatures in northern Namibia, so we were not really worried. And probably that is one of the reasons why we have kind of diverted from our growing calendar. For starters, just to put it out there, we don't really have a lot of agricultural activities all year round happening in northern Namibia. It's our very first year growing. So finding an exact growing calendar for our area is pretty difficult. Usually we would take South Africans calendars because they're so close to ours, and we'll try and improvise according to our weather. And our growing season is very, very long, especially because our winter usually doesn't reach sub-zero temperatures. And when the announcement for sub-zero temperatures for Windhoek came, we were not really surprised because Windhoek is in central Namibia. So the central Namibia and southern Namibia usually could very well hit sub-zero temperatures and can get frosty almost every year. So we thought it's fine. I immediately looked up our weather for that area of Okahaho where we are farming, and it was at 19.4 with a real feel of 2. And so I thought, okay, fine, that's really cold, but at least it's not sub-zero. I know we have tomatoes on the farm. We also have sweet potatoes on the farm. And these are warm weather crops. And I have seen the last time we had light, very light frost in Windhoek. Some of the tomatoes at the farm were already affected, and one of our papaya trees. So I was thinking, okay, fine, probably gonna take a beating this time around also, but it can't be bad. Like wouldn't really be that bad because it's not like a hard frost. Oh, Mother Nature came and delivered a very good lesson to us, a lesson that winter is winter, and there's hardly anything we could do. There's actually literally nothing we could do to control the temperatures that are gonna hit us that year. All we can do is look up the weather and try to plant accordingly. But should the weather change immediately, then that means we are left exposed and vulnerable. And this is exactly what happened. So that very morning, the guys on the farm actually sent a message. We called and they lamented how everything was frozen. Even the water in the animal trough was frozen. And the moment he said the drinking water in the trough of the animals was frozen, I knew we were in for a high jump. I knew there's no way our tomatoes could have survived that. And we were right, fam. We were right. So the whole of yesterday, we waited for pictures. Pictures arrived this morning, but by the evening we had communicated with them, and it became very clear that our tomatoes were gone. Our banana tree was gone. The pawpaws or papayas were badly affected. Now that I'm talking to you, I'm remembering they didn't send me the pictures of the sweet potatoes, but they said the two sweet potatoes also took a very bad beating. We are going to insert some of the pictures that they sent here. Hopefully by the time this video is out, we'll be able to also put a picture of the sweet potatoes. Now, when it comes to sweet potatoes, I'm not really worried because the ground was not frozen, although we received a frost. So I'm sure we'll still be able. We are gonna give it a few days without watering, and then we are going to harvest our sweet potatoes. I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. The pawpaws, they look bad, yes. They are saying some of the fruits by evening yesterday were already mushy, especially the smaller ones because they were frozen too. But I am also not really worried. I know it's gonna come back, and I also know that we're still gonna get a little bit of fruit from there. The bigger fruits couldn't have been affected that badly, that it's not salvageable, you know. What I'm really okay, the banana I think will also come back because the stem is still alive. Last night the temperature was 20 and the lowest was 4. Tonight it's going to be 24 and the lowest is 4. That's now degrees Celsius. So I don't think we are going to receive a frost in that area again, although I couldn't be sure because the other one was also not sub-zero, but we ended up having a hard frost or hard freeze. The one that I'm really disappointed about is the tomatoes, because the last time we had a tour, our tomatoes were really doing well, and we had staked them. We put in so much work. We fertilized them. They were doing really well. They had just started to set fruit. My beef steak, the tomatoes, they were just looking so good. And we are going to insert the pictures here. You would see they were already starting to get loaded with fruit. It's a disappointment. But what have we learned from this experience? I think the very first lesson we are taking from this is respect the growing calendar. So when it's winter, ever since I was growing up, I have never seen a frost up north, and this is where I was born and bred. I have never seen a frost in my entire life, but this is the one year that it happened, you know. So winter is winter. I guess we learn to respect the growing calendar and only plant cold weather crops in winter, because we have spinach there or Swiss chard, which is not affected. The beetroots were not affected. The carrots were affected, but just a little bit. So we have onions that are not affected. So it just goes to show you the cool weather crops did quite well. They are frost tolerant, but the tomatoes and all the other warm weather crops ended up suffering or taking a heavy beating. So that's the one lesson we are taking out of it. The second lesson we are taking out of it is that we could never control the weather. And even when you predict or when you look up the weather for that year, you must know that it's just predictions, but the weather could change literally, and it could flip a switch on you, just like it did on us. The third lesson, I think, it took, it's just that being new could mean you are very ambitious. We were very ambitious to grow food for the farmstead, but we have ended up losing some crops. We have lost a cabbage crop, the entire crop to pests because of lack of knowledge, that we have to admit. Now we are losing a crop of tomatoes due to frost. It just goes to show when you are new, sometimes don't deviate because some mistakes could be costly. The lucky part is that although the patch was quite big and we had probably close to 100 plants, it wasn't commercial, Just imagine if it was commercial and then you lose the whole crop. But anyways, family, like on our Facebook page yesterday, I posted that we were waiting pictures and that we were going to give an update of what is happening or what has happened or transpired on the farm. Animals wise, we didn't lose anything to the cold, thank God, because some farmers in northern Namibia lost some animals. In southern Namibia lost some animals. Maybe you could also insert that clip here for those of you who are not from Namibia. But we are thankful, to God for not having so much casualties, especially on the farmers who are there, the animals, crops. This is something that people lose here and there, and they recover from it. And definitely, we are going to take this lesson, run with it. We are going to hit the ground running. In August, spring starts here in Namibia, and we are going to plant again, and hopefully we are going to get a better crop and a better yield. Just something to what can I say, to make ourselves feel better, like to wipe away the tears that we're crying right now with. But it's like we're going on, fam. We're not giving up. We're going on. We're taking the lessons, and we hope for a better harvest the next growing season, which is warm and very well suited for tomatoes. Other than that, we thank you so much for being part of our family. If you would love to share some of your failures in your first year of gardening or your experience, but you're still having some of these failures, please share with us so that we can learn from you. We are thanking you for being with us, for watching this video. Please do subscribe to our channel if you're new, because we will be bringing you more content from the farm. Do like our videos. We have a lot more videos that we have already uploaded, and if you are new, just binge watch those videos. Thank you so much for keeping up with us, and from me, Rebecca, it's peace out until next time. Bye.